The following is a RackRadioShow.com exclusive.
Alright, well now, I say we do Money in the Bank.
Let's get into Money in the Bank, which is this Sunday live on the WWE Network and on pay-per-view. And yeah, if you would like to join in on the fun, you can post in our Facebook group, facebook.com/group/WildTalkRadio Network, or tweet us at WildTalkRadio your picks for Money in the Bank. And we're about to go one-on-one with the Magic 8 Ball as we do our picks.
Yes, we are.
So do you have a card up?
I do not have a card up.
So prepared. God.
You didn't tell me to pull a card up!
Fine. Alright. It's the pre-show. It's R-Truth versus King Barrett and his bulge.
God, that thing's fucking distracting.
You know, his crown.
Yeah, his crown.
Or his royal scepter. That would have been a better one.
So, alright, who do you think is gonna win?
Part of me wants to go, oh, it's definitely gonna be King Barrett. It's all the way King Barrett. He's the king of the ring. Why wouldn't King Barrett win? Then it's like, oh yeah, it's Barrett. It's Barrett. They always make him lose, no matter what. And it's the pre-show match, which means usually they put the babyface over on the pre-show, which means R-Truth, who thought he was in Money in the Bank, could possibly win.
He could.
He could. He really, really could. What I'm thinking, though, is King Barrett wins, but it wouldn't surprise me if R-Truth won. My official pick is King Bad News Barrett.
Yeah, I think I could go with Barrett on this one, too. I mean, I love R-Truth and all, but he's just kind of drifting right now, and it seems like they're pointing Wade in a very specific direction, so yeah. Going with the Wade.
And King Barrett's direction is losing, usually.
Yeah, well, gotta win every once in a while.
The Magic 8 Ball says, will R-Truth win on Sunday? Most likely. Interesting. The Magic 8 Ball is going in that direction. LeMans in the chat room goes, again, probably one of the most predictable pay-per-views ever.
Yeah, well, like you do.
Like you do. Alright, let's get into some of the matches that are going to be just there, and that's including the Intercontinental Championship Showdown. In one corner, you have the big guy, the Ryback, taking on the Big Show.
Why? Why are we doing this match? Why? Somebody explain this to me, please. Like, what is the point of this? I'm really, really, really seriously curious. Why in 2015 are we pushing Big Show like this? Somebody explain it.
That's been my question for the longest time. I don't know. I have no legitimate answer for it at all. It's like, Big Show, he won the Battle Royal at WrestleMania. Then they stopped protecting him and he lost to Roman Reigns. Then he disappeared for 6 weeks. Tommy in the chat room goes, #torture Lindsay, that's why.
Hey, it's better than Bray.
I guess.
Although it saddens me greatly that once again Bray Wyatt is not on the pay-per-view. Like, what the actual hell? Just, can they not find anything for him?
So the Big Show's been gone for 6 weeks. And walks right into a title shot. Why? How? How is that legitimately possible? I wrote on the website, WildTalkRadio.com, it's like, so Bray lost to The Undertaker, so he should be the champion, WWE champion right now, right?
Totally.
If that's losing to big matches, that's where you get title shots and championships, right? It would all make sense. And then the other reason LeMans goes, because Vince thinks the big guys are an attraction for fans. As if.
He's an attraction for some fans, and I don't fault people liking him. I really, really seriously don't. It's, everybody has their personal preference. I don't understand what people see in him, because I don't see it. I really don't. And to me, it's just like, he just doesn't do anything for me. And then you put him on top of Big Show, and it's like, oh, why? Why are we doing this?
Oh, I know. Trust me. I know. It's like Ryback's fine. And Ryback can have his programs, and he can be the champion. Blah blah blah. We've said this before. We'll say it again. We've seen all the Big Show stories.
Yeah, we have. We really, really seriously have.
So it's like at 15 years into WWE run, why is he still in title contention?
I mean, granted, it's for the IC title, so it's better than the WWE title. I will say this, but it's just, to me, it's like, still why?
And they gave away the big moment on Raw.
They did. That's the other thing about it. They gave away his big moment on Raw, where it's, you know, hey, let's have Ryback shell shock the Big Show on Monday Night Raw. Why? Because we can. You know, it's just I don't understand. Can you tell we really don't want to see this match on a lot of levels?
Right.
Like, I'm not a fan of this match. I'm not a fan of the idea of it.
Because the match is gonna suck.
Yeah, the match is gonna suck. Honestly, it's really gonna suck.
If we thought Roman and Big Show was bad, think about this one.
Yeah. But that being said, all the whining out of the way, I have to pick the big guy to retain. What about you? He's not picking, apparently. He's refusing to pick. Why do I think the big guy's going to win? Because apparently I need to stall for a second. It just doesn't make sense to put the title on Big Show at this point in time. You know, he's good for a match or two. I don't want to really see him have a run with the IC title. It's not going to do what they want it to do. And then they always have that impossible story of taking the title off of him once it's put on him. And so it's not going to do for the IC title what they want it to do, because they're trying to give it prominence again. And granted, having it on Ryback gives it a little bit more prominence. I think it would still have been better served to go on someone else, namely someone like Barrett or even Sheamus, someone that would, you know, just carry a little more prestige with it. And that's not to knock Ryback. That's more to knock creative, because they've had a chance to really build Ryback into something. And they failed the last couple times simply because they get to that point and then they don't pull the trigger. So to me, it's like Ryback with a title. It makes more sense to keep it with him because he can defend it more often. There's more risk that he could lose the title later on than with Big Show. Because you put it on Big Show and it's like, oh god, he's going to have it for the next 6 months. And it's like, ugh.
By the way, I do refuse to pick this matchup, though I will have to pick it.
Yeah, you have to pick. If I had to pick, you have to pick.
Ryback wins. Magic 8 Ball says Ryback wins too. I just don't want it to happen.
I don't want it to happen, but it's going to happen.
I should take that back. I don't want the match to happen. Ryback can be Intercontinental Champion. That's fine. He can do whatever he wants. I just don't want the match to happen. It's gonna be awful. Expect the Miz to get involved.
Oh God, why?
Because
this doesn't need to be any more convoluted than it already is. I also hope this is short. This should be short.
Because another guy who's been gone for 6 weeks, title shot. And I actually like the Miz, but yeah.
Oh, I like the Miz too, but I don't want anything to draw this out.
No. Anyway, moving on to the next match. On the show, Divas Championship, Nikki Bella versus Paige. Alright, I want to ask the chat room, who's the babyface? Who's the heel?
I don't even know anymore. It's a minor pay-per-view, but I think they're ready to take it off Nikki.
If they were ready to take it off of Nikki, I think Naomi would have had it.
But that's the thing, I don't know if they want to put it on Naomi. They should put it on Naomi, but they're not going to. But at the same time, I'm not sure if I want Paige to be champion again.
Leave a comment. Creative is the heel.
Yeah! Creative is totally the heel. You know, honestly, I say it stays on Nikki for right now. It doesn't make sense to change the title here. I say she carries it through to SummerSlam and drops it at SummerSlam. But honestly, I really don't want to see Paige as champion. I'm tired of Nikki as champion, but I don't want to see it change hands, and I prefer it to go to somebody else outside of Paige, namely Naomi. I would like to see them follow through with her and make her champion.
With Total Divas starting up, I say Nikki Bella retains the title.
Yeah, for right now.
For at least another month. Or at least till SummerSlam. Maybe that might be a good way to drop it. The Magic 8 Ball says, will Nikki Bella retain the Divas title? Most likely. So it's on the same page with us. So when it's that way, yeah. Anyway.
Remember who she learned to kick out at 2 from. Just saying.
The champ is here. WWE Tag Team titles, The New Day, taking on the Prime Time Players. Millions of dollars. Millions of dollars? I'm not... There's some people who are high on the Prime Time Players. I'm not. And it's nothing against them, but I watched Titus O'Neil, and I don't Like, he's strong, but I don't see it.
I don't see where they're going with them, but at the same time, I don't see where they're going with the New Day either.
The New Day has their popularity, I guess is the best way to put it, has sort of, you know, they got their success and now they're not as popular.
Were they ever popular?
Well, with New Day sucks, I guess.
That lasted for a whole 5 minutes?
Yeah, it didn't, you know, it didn't get over as much.
No, it did not.
At least as they hoped it would. They ran with it. They took it while it was hot. With Cesaro and Kid out of the picture, especially with Kid's injury. Cesaro's in limbo, so you have them pick a new team. As someone in the chat goes, I would pay good money to see Nikki Bella rock attack Sin Cara. That'd be interesting.
Which Sin Cara?
I think the current Sin Cara. That way, there's no chance of a botch.
No. There is always a chance of a botch.
This is true. Anyway, getting back to the match, New Day.
Yeah, I say New Day retains here. It doesn't make sense to put them on the primetime players. There isn't really a direction for the primetime players. I think we're going to see Harper and Rowan come in and start destroying people. That seems to be what they're setting them up to do, and make a run at the titles. And hopefully this time, when they go for the titles, they actually win the titles like they should have a year ago, just saying, so that way Eric can get his shiny pretty and he can hug it and love it and lick it and be happy. Because let's not forget, y'all, Eric Rowan licked the title. It's still technically his.
Haven't seen anyone else lick it.
I haven't seen anyone else lick it, so technically it's his.
Technically it is.
But yeah, I say New Day retains. It doesn't make any sense to take the titles off them right now.
The Magic 8 Ball says, don't count on it. Magic 8 Ball's going primetime players.
Millions of dollars?
Yeah. I think
Yo.
Anyway, moving on to some of the matches we actually care about, or the more interesting matches on the show. Kevin Owens, John Cena.
This is a hard one to call.
Technically, it shouldn't be.
Technically, it shouldn't be, but there's a lot going on with Kevin Owens right now, where I know NXT doesn't necessarily impact what happens on Raw and SmackDown, but Kevin Owens is extremely high profile right now, and people are following pretty much everything he's doing. So it's a very unique situation. He's got a match next week with Joe,
which we'll talk about here in a bit.
And then come July 4th, he's facing Balor for the title, which I suspect that match he's going to lose.
I would
call it a hunch.
Call it a hunch. So if he's going to lose, that should be the time he loses.
Yeah, but it's Cena.
On a pay-per-view. It's that whole thing. Kevin Owens is so hot right now. Such a hot commodity right now. You can't have Cena kill it. You can't do the death of Cena with this, because Cena kills all popular superstars when they are on the rise. Rusev, Bray, Wyatt, to name a couple. You can't kill the momentum of Kevin Owens. If you want someone to break away from the pack, keep Kevin Owens strong. Losing the NXT title is fine because that's NXT. He needs to beat John Cena, and then they need to stop fighting each other. Cena should not get his win back. Cena should not get a win back, because that's just bad booking. Because then you're just playing even Steven, and we see where even Steven booking gets you.
You need to keep Owens strong, especially going into the match with Joe, even though it's already technically been taped. And also the match with Balor on the 4th. You need to keep him strong for that. That being said, I say Owens is going to win. Even though my gut's telling me it's going to be Cena, I'm going with my heart and saying Owens is going to win. I think Hunter's trying to do a lot to protect him. I think Vince sees money in him. And it's like, it makes sense to have Owens win, to continue to keep him strong, especially since he's probably going to suffer. He's going to at least lose one of the two upcoming matches, either to Joe or to Balor. Most likely Balor. And he's probably going to lose to Joe simply because they're trying to build Joe strong.
Right. And again, John Cena doesn't need to beat Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens needs to beat John Cena.
Yeah, if you're bringing Owens up and you want to establish him on the main roster, you need to have him as the guy who's beaten John Cena twice in a month. Pinned him clean.
That simple.
Twice in a month on pay-per-view. Because that's going to do a lot to cement Kevin Owens into your main event and into your title picture.
Yeah, so I'm going Kevin Owens.
Yeah, I say Kevin Owens.
Magic 8 Ball says most likely Kevin Owens wins. So next on the list, the Money in the Bank contract ladder match with no actual drama. You have Neville, Sheamus, Randy Orton, Roman Reigns, Kane, Dolph Ziggler, and Kofi Kingston.
Everybody say it with me. Roman Reigns is walking out with Money in the Bank.
I don't want to say that.
I know you don't want to say it. I don't want to say it, but that's what's happening. It's clear as day. That's what they're going to do.
You sit here, you look at the people in this match. You have Neville, who on SmackDown they go, hey look, see, he climbed. He can climb and he can pull it down. Look at Neville. He could win Money in the Bank. Do we really believe that?
No.
No, he's been around for 4 months now. 3 months. He's not winning Money in the Bank. You look at Dolph Ziggler. Why would Dolph Ziggler win it? What confidence does WWE actually have in Dolph? None? Do they see him as the next WWE champion? No. You look at Kofi Kingston. He's only in the match to take bumps. You look at Sheamus. He's the only other person in this match that I actually think has a believable chance at winning. And that's very slim.
I don't see Sheamus winning it.
No, neither do I, but out of everybody left in this match, he has the next highest percentage chance of winning.
I will say it would be interesting if they had Kofi win it, just because he wins it for the New Day, and anyone in the New Day could technically cash it in, but that's not going to happen. So yeah,
they're not going to put it back on Randy Orton, because no one wants to see Randy Orton in the title picture right now. He had his time, he needs to back down a little bit.
What I would actually like to see is they do a little shenanigans with this, and I have a theory. It doesn't necessarily work.
Okay,
but it's somebody in the match gets taken out, and Brock takes their place.
Could happen.
And Brock gets the Money in the Bank, which he's already got a rematch for losing the WWE Championship, but it's almost a guaranteed shot with Money in the Bank, especially for Brock, because at this point, no offense to either Seth or Dean, but one of those two is going to win that title, and one of those two is going to face Brock, and one of those two is going to die.
Yeah.
Because it's Brock.
It is Brock.
And he's looking for blood after what happened, so especially if it's Seth. So you could have it where Brock interjects himself into the Money in the Bank match. He either takes somebody out, or he just enters the match and he wins the Money in the Bank contract.
Right. Someone goes, oh, that's a neat idea. Here's the thing. Brock takes out Kofi Kingston, right? That would lead to the epic rematch on July 4th between Brock Lesnar and Kofi Kingston in Japan.
It would.
It would give a reason for the match to happen.
It totally would.
Alright, I made this point to Lindsay the other day, and I'm gonna make it here. When it comes to Money in the Bank, I would rather have 7 strong people in this match that are legitimate contenders for the WWE Championship than guys who will jump and do flips off a ladder. I know ladder matches these days are about high risk and big bumps and everything like that. But when it comes to the WWE Championship, I'd rather have 6-7 guys who would actually be legitimate challengers for the championship, and there would be a high sense of drama in this match.
Yeah, and that's what's missing is the high sense of drama. And you kind of look at the people in this match, and they've picked quality people, but it's like you kind of look at them and you're like, really? Really? That's who's going in this match? Really? I mean, and what's irritating is you had someone like Bray Wyatt, and I understand that in Bray's last feud with The Undertaker, he lost. But prior to that, Bray was on a roll. They built him up very strong for Taker. He was in Money in the Bank last year. He had a decent showing in Money in the Bank last year. But you've had Bray Wyatt in a series of main event feuds, some of which he's won, some of which he's lost. But he's still been in main event feuds. And he has to earn, in quotations, his way into Money in the Bank by facing Roman Reigns, Whereas other people like Kofi Kingston, who maybe have not been in as high-profile feuds, just gets in.
Right.
Or someone like Randy Orton, who is on the Authority's bad list. You would think they would make him earn his spot in the Money in the Bank, but he didn't.
He was supposedly in the back of the line, and now he's back in the front of the line?
Yeah, now he's back in the front of the line, so either Orton cut a deal, or there's some shenanigans going on. But it's just, you look at the people that they've picked for this match, and you're like, because there's no drama. It's like, the second it got announced that Roman was in the match, it's like, well, we know who's winning.
And here's the thing. Who's winning right now on television?
Roman.
Who is losing on television?
Everybody else.
To
everybody else.
To everybody else. Randy Orton and Sheamus, the reason they keep doing disqualification matches, because it's like, see, on Sunday they can't get disqualified. But that makes no sense.
Right?
It's a ladder match. Of course they can't get disqualified. So why are you doing DQ innings? Here's a stat for you. They've wrestled 15 times in their WWE careers. 9 matches between Sheamus and Randy Orton have ended in disqualification. Just saying.
What I don't understand is, like, why is Kane in there? I love Kane. Don't get me wrong. I adore him, but it's like, why are you in this match, dude? You should not be in this match. But somehow every year they manage to get Kane into Money in the Bank. I think he's been in on almost every Money in the Bank match they've ever had.
Just about.
Just about. And it's like, why are you in this match? You shouldn't be, unless somebody's going to take his place.
He's there to do the bidding for the Authority.
And stop Roman from winning the contract?
Roman Reigns will have to overcome Kane to get the contract.
Oh, Lord. No.
Like, again...
Just no.
This just shows the weakness of the main event scene. You don't have enough legitimate contenders to put in this match. And that's a problem.
That is a problem.
Especially when you do even... Again, going back to even Steven booking, this is why you have a match like this.
Yep.
So when the chat goes, I would rather have Dean in the Money in the Bank match. Underdog face Money in the Bank holder for the win, and it makes sense with his chaotic nature, plus all the foreshadowing last year set up so well, stringing of losses, stealing Rollins' case, Jon Stewart comments that Dean should have won it, etc. It's a good point.
Dean as a Money in the Bank holder would be one of the most entertaining things they've done in a really long time, especially if they put the title, or they keep the title on Seth, because Dean writing Dean terrorizing Seth with that briefcase would be hilarious.
Yeah, it would.
Because basically it's Dean's revenge, and he would make Seth's life absolute hell with it. It would be awesome.
Alright, so... picks.
Roman.
Hate saying it. Roman Reigns is your winner of the Money in the Bank. We asked the Magic 8 Ball, will Roman Reigns win? No. Will Sheamus win? No. Will Neville win? No. Will Dolph Ziggler win? Outlook good. So the Magic 8 Ball is going with Dolph Ziggler.
Well, he could.
Which now leads to the main event. Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose for Dean Ambrose's WWE Championship.
In a ladder match. This is gonna be good.
Great. This is gonna be awesome. I can't wait for this match.
Yeah, I'm excited for this match. Super, super excited.
Because this is the thing, Lindsay. This is a ladder match with drama.
Yeah. And seeing as Seth is going to supposedly have no help from the Authority.
Right. No help from the Authority. No
in
help.
Quotations.
No,
help.
let's think about this. We'll go down this theory of no help from the Authority. What if his help is Roman Reigns? What if, to get the WWE Championship back, he, gets in the ear of Roman Reigns and say, hey, Roman, you want to help me? Help me. Huh? We can reform it. We can screw over Dean. He doesn't, you guys aren't like that good of friends. We can tear the house down like we used to. No?
No.
Yeah, I didn't believe my answer either, but I was throwing out the scenario.
You seriously underestimate the bromance that is Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns.
I don't.
You just seriously underestimate that.
I'm just throwing a theory out there.
Oh, I know. I get that. Seth having no help, of course, we all know there's going to be shenanigans in this, but the whole reason it's a ladder match is, well, there's supposed to be shenanigans, because Seth will get some kind of help.
Maybe from Bray Wyatt?
Maybe from Bray Wyatt. Maybe from Roman Reigns. Roman could be trying to help Dean, and he ends up screwing up, and he helps Seth. Who knows? You know, there are rumors that there could be a Shield reunion. I doubt that's going to happen, but it's entirely possible.
I threw this scenario out on Sunday. Dean Ambrose wins the WWE Championship. Roman Reigns cashes in that night on Dean Ambrose, and Roman Reigns walks out of Money in the Bank as the WWE World Heavyweight Champion by screwing over his best friend.
He could. Roman's already said that if he wins the title, he's going to cash in, or if he wins the briefcase, he's going to cash in on whoever wins that title, which he said it's going to be Dean Ambrose. So they had him make that statement for a reason.
Which means it won't happen on Sunday.
Which means it won't happen on Sunday, but that doesn't mean that he won't cash in at some point. I would love to see them continue with Dean having the title. I would love to actually see them put the win on Dean. And Seth now has to figure out a way on his own to get the title off of Dean. And you could honestly do a 3-way at whatever the next pay-per-view is between the three, if you wanted to.
But that's blowing the big money for a Shield match. If you would do it, I would do it at SummerSlam or WrestleMania.
The thing is Brock's going to be at SummerSlam.
Brock is at Battleground.
Brock is at Battleground, but we don't know if Brock's going for the title or not. It doesn't make sense to put Brock back in your title picture, but I don't know who else you could have Brock face unless you do Roman versus Brock.
Or you do Brock Lesnar versus Seth Rollins at Battleground, not for the title. You do Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose for the title at Battleground. And then you have Brock and Roman win at Battleground. They fight at SummerSlam.
I can see that.
Because is Brock wanting his title back? Or does he want to get revenge on Seth Rollins?
I think he wants to get revenge, honestly, on Seth Rollins, because it's like Brock is a conqueror. He looks for the next thing to conquer. And he's conquered the WWE title picture. He doesn't necessarily need the title. It's a nice thing to have, but he doesn't need it. So I can honestly see Brock just being like, screw your title. He wants revenge on Seth Rollins for screwing him over.
Alright, Lemans goes, quick question. If they are advertising Rollins as champion for future live events as champion, is that giving away anything? Or are these always subject to change?
Subject to change.
Because it would be giving it away if they say Dean Ambrose is your WWE champion.
Yeah. Everything for the advertising is subject to change. And people just kind of need to keep that in mind. But sometimes things do pop up that are unexpected, like when people are going to make returns and everything. That's a good thing to check, but in terms of the title picture, that title can always change.
Right, because they can always, change the advertising the next day after he wins the title and say, Dean Ambrose is coming to your town as the WWE World Heavyweight Champion.
Yeah, and I think Seth for right now has run his course as champion.
We talked about it 2 weeks ago. It's
time to change it. Let Dean have it for another couple weeks until Battleground. Let him go to Battleground. He can drop it there. And he can either go for a rematch on SummerSlam, or they can find him something else to do.
I'm going with the scenario Dean Ambrose wins and then Roman cashes in on him.
Ditto.
And then I go with the scenario of Battleground is Seth Rollins and Brock Lesnar and Roman and Dean in your main events.
I'm not picking Battleground, but ditto on they actually put the title on Dean, and then you have Dean and you have Roman cash in, and then you can do the 3-way if you want, or you do Roman and Dean and Seth and Brock at Battleground.
Lemans goes, do you think they will eventually have Reigns as the one to beat Lesnar, or let Lesnar continue to tear through the roster? Let Lesnar continue to tear.
Yeah, let him keep going for a little bit.
Because that's Brock. You signed Brock to a multi-million-dollar, multi-year deal. Let him beat people up. He's your badass. He's your monster. He shouldn't be losing.
No, I mean, a fluke loss every once in a great while, that's fine, but yeah, Brock has the reputation of coming in there and killing people. Let him do his job.
Yeah, makes the most sense.
So, I say that's Money in the Bank.
That is Money in the Bank.